Yo, what's up? This is King Vox, and today we're going to be talking about boss gears as I hang out with these pigs over here, because this is how I feel that, this game is being when it comes to getting gear and stuff like that. Now, recently, you guys know that I sold a lot of my gear, well, all my gear pretty much, for the pursuit to get boss gear, because I was just sick of not having boss gear. And although I spent months grinding bosses, I've actually never gotten a boss gear drop. So all my boss gear I had to buy, and it's crazy to me because mostly games where you plus up your gear and stuff like that. Like I remember, I think the first one I played we had to plus up your gear was MU, then it was Decaron. Well, first it was 2 moons, then it was Decaron. But in this game we have like the worst of the worst like gear system. First of all, the best gear set in the game is boss gear, right? And that set is best in slot for every single class. The lack of depth and that whole situation had to just literally use boss gear if you want to like mid-max your character and want to have the very best gear in the game is just a little bit silly for me. Like I don't really like the model or whatever, and usually when I've played other games or whatever that had stuff like that, like but usually you have different stuff or whatever that plays along. Like so, like in Ion it was the same system, but you didn't have the same set for every class, you know what I mean? Let's go to the balcony. In Ion, you had a name. So if you had something like Crucible set, right? Crucible was like a really good boss gear set and stuff like that in that game, but it varied from classes. So it had not only set bonuses and stuff like that, but the stats were different and stuff like that. The stats were catered to fit to a class. Where Black Desert, the depth or whatever as far as class and character customization, as far as like gearing and stuff like that, it's very linear. Like it's just like a straight line. Like you get damage, you get defense, like that's pretty much what it comes down to. And they try to add little layers, whatever, stuff like accuracy and things like that like mixes things up, or dodge and things like that, but it doesn't really pan out or work too good. I mean, first of all, the whole situation with those stats is, because the best gear is boss gear for every class, right? So every class aims to get boss gear, no matter what class you are. If you want to be the best or whatever, you have to get boss gear and you have to plus it up. So like in a massive siege guild, everyone, like 90% of everybody or whatever in the guild will be wearing the exact same items, for the difference of maybe really the only difference being like an offhand preference of offhand, like Kudum or Nuver, or some people use like the Say or whatever. And like I said, this is another attempt to add a little bit more depth, as far as like accuracy and stuff like that and dodge. And it doesn't leave enough room or whatever to just like kind of make your own build and just do crazy things. Like it's just pretty much it's a seesaw. It's really what it is, and the main thing I want to speak about, is getting this gear. So not only is getting this gear extremely RNG and stuff like that, unless you want to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions, which I had to do because like I said, I've been doing bosses or whatever forever, and I've literally never gotten a boss drop. Now I've seen plenty of drops from bosses, like from people in my groups and stuff like that would literally, like, there's some people that would get Nuvers, Nuver boxes or whatever, like every night, you know what I mean, for like a whole week, and not a Nuver box, where they would get like a Kudum box and stuff like that. And I would just be amazed. I'd be like, damn, like, this person doesn't need stuff, it's just throwing it on a marketplace. And that's all cool and dandy. Talking of dandies being the best weapon for everyone, I mean, I guess people can say that the weapons are different, but they're not really different. They're just like, witches get us, like, wizards and witches get like a staff dandy, not a staff, but you know what I mean. They get their own dandy for their class, whatever. But the only difference on those weapons or whatever are cast speed, or not even that. Not even the main difference on those items is that they're class specific, yeah, items. You know what I mean? So like, I would get like this hula hoop razor blade as a dandy, you know, and a witch or a wizard or whatever would get balls, and like, there's really no other like depth into that. Like, you're not going to have a special dandy that's spec some way, you know. So again, with the gear system in Black Desert, and I don't think that it's like necessarily bad. I just think that there's not a lot of depth into it. And some people can claim 9 boss gear and stuff like that if you want variety and stuff like that, but the truth is nothing comes close to having full boss gear and, you know, having that boss gear high. So like, somebody in full Tet boss gear is going to beat someone that's not in full Tet boss gear. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Now I know we've seen videos of like witches and wizards and stuff like that bunkering and crazy stuff like that, but the truth is, if they go those like crazy DP bunker builds or whatever, they really don't have the damage to kill someone that's full Tet boss gear. Like, that's just facts. The only way they would be able to do that is to get more damage and stuff like that, which requires like boss gear. So like, it's just really silly, you know, the whole idea of that. So like, that's why most people in NA or whatever go purely for AP. Is just off of the fact that, you know, if you go a hybrid build or something like that, you won't have enough damage to kill someone that is like, you know, that has a lot of DP and stuff like that. Like, you just won't have the damage. So you either go enough AP or whatever to be able to kill someone, and then you settle out at like, you know, 260 DP and stuff like that. But a lot of people just don't really understand that. Like, you know, I have a bunch of friends or whatever that play these weird classes. Like, they want to play Striker and stuff like that, and as you guys know, Striker's my main, but they want to play Striker and they want to get like full combos or go like some type of weird dodge build. Like, please show me where that works. Like, that's not reality in this game. You're set on a linear path or whatever, a linear path, and you have to stick to that path. Like, being stuff like, if you want to be a tank or whatever in this game, you have to play a class that can tank. You have to play a class that really accepts DP. And then this is something that you're going to have to understand. You know, you're not going to be able to do any damage. Like, I know there's people out there that say, oh yeah, man, I know this guy, he says get 160 AP and it just max out your DP and you'll be fine. Like, that's true if you're fighting noobs. If you're fighting somebody that has, you know, full boss gear and they're like freaking full try, or even, yeah, if they're full try or full Tet or something like that or whatever, like, you're going to get ran over. Like, first of all, if they don't, they're going to kill you eventually because they have the damage to do so. And not only that, is you're not going to be able to do any damage to them because you're bunkered out. So a bunker build essentially is for stuff like sieges and node wars, where, you know, you have things like berserkers that go in the front line and they soak up most of the damage, you know. So I'm gonna get off of that subject right now, and I'm gonna get on to another subject about the gear situation in BDO. So in most games, we'll use Guild Wars and WoW for this example, whatever. You know, in any MMO RPG that you've ever played or whatever, you know, and I've played plenty of RPGs or whatever that have this system where you plus up gear and stuff like that, and it's always a bitch. Like, it's always, I'm just gonna be honest, like, I don't mean to curse, I apologize, whatever, for anyone other ears, but it's always, you know, a real pain to level up or whatever. But the thing is, you get the gear so easily that you can start leveling up this gear and stuff like that and not wasting money and stuff, like, almost right out the back. So games like Decaron, Ion, even in Blade and Soul and stuff like that, you know, most games where you plus up gear, the gear is easily accessible. Like, you can get the gear very easy, and the hard part was plussing it up. So the gear wasn't really a big deal, it was plussing the gear up. although like, and then now you have games like, you know, well, you have BDO, and BDO is not only, you know, a real panda milk to even get the gear, you know, it's a real pain to plus up. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the plussing system in BDO, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Ion system or whatever, I feel it's a little bit rougher, but here's where BDO takes the cake. Accessories. So as you can see, I have like scrub accessories. I used to have like duo witches and duo, you know, the other ones, what are they called, marks of shadows and all that stuff. And you know, I had duo freaking what are those, the belt and necklace combination or whatever, that what does it do? It gives you a accuracy and stuff like that. I used to have that. I forget the name of those accessories, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They're very popular. It's like, I don't remember. It's like Ancient Seal or something like that, right? So this is the crazy thing. I got sick of wasting so much money on accessories that I just like went and traded. I went and sold all those accessories, which by the way came to over $1 billion silver in accessories for the same AP, literally the same AP that I get now from this Oscilla set. And the Oscilla set is beautiful. I love that they put this in the game, and I hope they put a next tier in there, because enchanting accessories in this game is so, listen, when I fell on something, like I had a Pariah Ogre ring, right, and trying to duo it, you know, just because everyone else is doing it or whatever, you know, peer pressure, and then you lose it, you lose so much money, I just can't even cope. Like, it's not even, I don't know why I clicked that item, but it's not even, you know, gear that's the big problem in this game, like, at all. Like, gear is fine. Like, getting the gear, yes, it's a double tundra thing where you're like, oh crap, I have to literally go get this gear, like RNG or whatever, for months and months to get a full set. And I know people that have been playing for like, you know, a year that don't have one piece of boss gear, and they do fine, whatever, but they're like in Tet Granil, stuff like that, which is, it's not hard to get, whatever, but it's so expensive or whatever. You kind of feel bad that you have such an expensive, you know, set on it and chant it up to that point, and you don't have boss gear. You kind of feel some type of way. Like, I felt some type of way or whatever when I had full tri gear and it wasn't boss gear, you know. So that kind of like hurt me a little bit. It was just like, dang, it's like this is kind of lame, you know. So I was like, all right, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell my stuff and I'm gonna get boss gear. And those massive pre-orders that I had to put in, you know, just because RNG just wasn't on my side to get the drops from the actual boss or the night vendor. I don't know what it is. I see screenshots of people playing the night vendor, guys, and I don't know how you guys do this, but you guys get stuff like boss gear for like 90 million. Like, what? How do you even do that? Like, I saw people getting dandies for 200 million on a night vendor and stuff like that. Like, those screenshots are crazy. Listen, when I get something like Beg's gloves in the night vendor or something like that, they're always like just under 400 million. They're literally like 370 million. Like, this dude does not like me. He does not like me. It's crazy. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that whole system and get you guys' opinions on it. So, you know, do those big posts and stuff like that. Make sure you hit the notification button as well as the subscribe button. This is King Vox, and I'm out. You know, this rant was really nice, and I hope to hear, you know, your opinions and thoughts down there in the comment section below. I said below.